All right, but to start our third and final part, what we'll want to do is go back over to the myKW homepage. Now, if we're in the back end of eEdge, we can always click on that KW logo option up here at the top left. All right, or of course, we can always type inside mykw.kw.com as well. All right, either one works. All right, so once we're back over on our myKW homepage, in order to access our marketing pieces, all right, it's all going to be under this myMarketing section right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the plus sign next to myMarketing, and we're really going to focus on these two items, create marketing materials and manage and create campaigns. All right, so we're going to start with create marketing materials, as this will actually take us back over to our marketing backend, or our marketing center as they call it, so we can access everything immediately. All right, so once I click on Create Marketing Materials on here, there we go. Come on, click. There we go. All right, now this is going to take us over to our marketing center. Don't do this to me. Let me refresh real quick, see if it pops up. If not, I will come back to this. Should pop up though. Perfect. All right, when in doubt, click that refresh button. I'm just going to say that one. When in doubt, click refresh. That's going to be your best friend. All right. So once we click on that, it's going to take us to our marketing center. So as you can see, keep in touch with customizable marketing templates and campaigns. All right, so with that being said on here, you can actually access all of your different marketing pieces from one location. All right. So on here, if we take a look at the marketing section at the top left real quick. All right, so under marketing, we can actually view our monthly newsletters. Now, the monthly newsletters are actually going to be newsletters that will come out automatically. So the cool part about this is these newsletters on here never end. That's the best part about it. They never end on here. All right, so this is the one campaign that'll constantly come out for you. Now, this is automatically created by eEdge, so obviously you can go through and tweak this if you want to. You're not required to. It's completely up to you. Now, below that, we also have the My Campaign section. Now, My Campaigns are going to be all the different campaigns that you might want to utilize inside the myKW platform. All right, so in this case, if you want to create an 8x8, a 12 direct, 33 touch, kind of like we touched base on in our second part, you have the option of actually accessing them from here too. All right, then you can also view all of your designs that you've previously created. All right, if you click on My Designs, this is going to show all the designs that you've created, but you can also access all the templates that are available for you to create new designs too. All right, below that, you can view all the images you may have uploaded previously. All right, so if you want to actually just take a look at all those different images, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, or you can actually view your mailing list. Now, the mailing list is basically going to allow you to take a look at, who you want to send out postcard mailouts to, or just any type of print mailouts to. All right, so this is basically just going to be, here's the person's first and last name, here's their address, so you can actually send out these postcard type pieces. Now, Design Library down here is where you can actually find all the templates. So if you want to find campaign templates and just start from scratch, you have the campaign template section. All right, if you want to find email and video marketing pieces, you have the email and video section. And if you want to look at print marketing pieces, you have the print marketing option. Now, if you recall from the first part, if you were here during that first part, all right, in this particular case, you can send out 5,000 emails each month. All right, 5,000 emails each month. I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right, so I'm going to say it again, 5,000 emails each month. That is the limitation. Obviously, if you're going to do print marketing pieces, you can order print marketing, all right, where you have to pay for it, and then obviously it's mailed out or shipped out. All right, or of course, you can also go through and you can just download them as a PDF and do it yourself. All right, completely up to you. All All right, but the Marketing Center is basically a culmination of all of your marketing pieces in one location. Now, if I hover over marketing on here, and I actually need to click on it, so if I click on marketing at the top, all right, then we're going to have 3 different options that'll usually pop up. All right, we'll have Marketing Center, Manage Campaigns, and Manage Designs. Some good water. All right, so once we click on marketing on here, all right, then we have the Marketing Center section, which is what we just went over. But we're going to click on Manage Campaigns. So let's click on that Manage Campaigns option real quick. All right. So once I click on Manage Campaigns on here, all right, then as you can see, I can actually go through and I can manage these campaigns immediately. All right, who would have thunk it? All right, so once I click on Manage Campaigns, all right, then we can view all of our different template campaigns that are currently available on here. All right, so with that being said, this is just going to give us an overview of all the campaigns we're currently utilizing, whether you are or aren't using any campaigns right now. All right. So when taking a look at this, everyone's going to have the monthly newsletter campaign, and it's always going to say active. You cannot make it deactive, but if you don't have any contacts or any groups on there, well, it's automatically going to be deactivated, so you're fine. All right. Now, in this case, she also happens to have an 8x8 Buyer 2016 campaign. All right, so she has 1 contact on that campaign, 0 groups, so there aren't any groups that are coming over. All right, there are 6 email steps, 0 postcard steps, and 3 activity steps. Now on each campaign, you can actually set it up that once the campaign ends, you can add them over to another active or pause campaign that's viewable back here in your My Campaign section. Or you can actually view the performance on each piece that's coming out in that campaign, so that way you can actually pick and choose which piece is doing, the best and which one you might want to take a look at maybe reformatting. All right, so just to give you a heads up, those are all options that are available for you. Now, of course, outside of just seeing the campaigns on here, you can always click on it too if you want to add new contacts, if you want to add new pieces, delete pieces on the campaign, completely up to you. But we're going to go ahead and click the Add New Campaign option at the top right up here so we can actually add new campaign pieces just to take a further look at everything. All right, so once I click on Add New Campaign on here, come on. All right, if it doesn't do it, get refresh. All right. So here are all the different campaigns we can actually take a look at on here. All right, so taking a look at this is just for our regular eEdge account. All right, we happen to have a bunch of different campaigns, 62 that are available. Now, obviously, if you happen to have the Pro account, you're going to have even more campaigns at this time. All right, but I just want to take a look at, obviously, all the basic free stuff first. All right, so when looking at all this, obviously we happen to have, a bunch of different options that are available. Some of the newer ones are displaying at the top, obviously title A to Z, or I can go title Z to A to help out. All right, but on the left-hand side over here, we can actually search for the campaigns based on a couple different criteria options. Or we can kind of sort them. The first one we're going to see on here is the delivery schedule. All right, from date, interval, birthday, and anniversary. Now, birthday and anniversary mean that we have a birthday or anniversary added in for the contact in the back end of their contact section. All right. Now, the date and the interval in this case basically means that, Well, and right over here, we're actually going to set up a date or interval campaign. Now, a date campaign means we're going to know the exact date that a piece is going to come out on. All right, whereas an interval campaign means that we're going to know the interval between each piece. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one. So the best way to explain this is if we happen to have a interval campaign, or an interval campaign, I guess, because it has an I. Let's say we had 100 contacts today on the 27th, and a month from now we had another 100 contacts on April 27th. All right, when we add another 100 contacts on April 27th, and it's an interval campaign, those contacts that are added a month from now would start at the very beginning because we know the interval between each piece, so it can start whenever. If we add 100 contacts today on March 27th, and 100 contacts a month from now on April 27th, and it's a date campaign, all right, any piece that comes out between now and April 27th, they wouldn't be added on because it's in the past. All right, so date campaigns are definitely going to be featured around pieces that are date-oriented, like holidays, for instance. Obviously, Easter, Good Friday, Passover happening, so obviously that's going to be very date-oriented. All right, so with that being said, the next thing we're going to take a look at over here is going to be our collection. Now, collections are basically just groups that you can actually take a look at everything on here. All right, so we happen to have Market My Business Buyers, Sellers, and Sphere. All right, so we have Market My Business Buyers, Sellers, and Sphere. All right, and of course you might have a couple other groups. All right, completely up to you in this case. All right, so completely, it's up to you if you want to utilize any of these different groups just to search a little bit quicker. All right, and then we have the campaign titles on here too. All right, so under campaign title, you can actually search by what you might be looking for as well. All right, once again, completely up to you in this case. All right. Now, if I scroll down even further, we're also going to have the Create Custom Campaign section where you can actually create an interval campaign or a date campaign from scratch. If you create this from scratch, then that'll actually allow you to go through and pick and choose any templates that you might want to utilize. All right, so just to give you a heads up, you can actually pick and choose any templates you might want to utilize in this case from the eEdge platform. Now, for the time being, just to make it simple, I'm going to choose this first one, the 2017-2018 12 Direct Homeownership Know-How. All right, now this is a date campaign, so even though it says we have 12, email steps left available for us to use, all right, in theory, we might actually not have that many depending on when the dates actually happen on some of these pieces. All right, so it's going to give us an overview about the campaign so we can actually get an idea as to what it's looking like. If it doesn't say there are any direct mail steps, that means this campaign is going to be free. All right, remember, you can send out 5,000 emails a month. I'm going to drill that into your head, 5,000 emails a month. All right, you can also click on Show Campaign Step Details down here just to get an idea as to what all the different campaign steps are going to look like. All right, so completely up to you on this one too. All right, so I'm going to go and click Choose This Template on the right-hand side real quick just so we can choose this even further. All right, and once we click on that, it's going to give us 4 different places that we can actually take a look at. There we go. All right, so section number 1 is something that you really don't need to focus on unless you just want to change the name of the campaign for you to view only. All right, so this is just going to allow you to update the name of the campaign. It's only going to display in the back end of your My Campaign section, so you're perfectly fine if you just want to leave it as is. All right, step 2 and 3, though, are the bulk of what you'll want to update. All right, step 2 on here is where you can actually view all the pieces that are set to come out. Now, once again, I said this was a date campaign, so even though it said we had 12 pieces coming out, it looks like we actually only have 6 email pieces. So this must have come out 6 months ago. All right, so whatever 6 months prior to March was. What was that, October, I guess? All right, so in this case, now we've got 6 email pieces left to come out, the next one coming out in April. All right, we have 1 activity step on here. Now, you can actually go through and change the email subjects in this. Or you can actually come through and you can update the date that this will come out on. All right, typically these will come out in the morning. All right, you can also click on this little image over here to blow it up to get an idea as to what this piece is going to look like. Now, if you blow up the image, your information will automatically populate at the bottom of the image when you send this out. The image that'll blow up on here is just a template image where it's going to show just basically some info that's just there to be there, basically, just filler material, basically. It's like whenever you get a piece and it has Latin written on it. All right, your information will automatically override on this based on what you have in that account, My Account section. All right, now if you click the personalize option as well, all right, then you can actually personalize this immediately too. All right, so that way if you want to actually go through and personalize this piece, you're definitely more than welcome to if you want to change some stuff out. And the cool part is not only will it personalize and save over on your email campaign, it'll also save in your My Designs that we're going to take a look at very, very soon. So you can actually send this out as a one-off piece if you want to as well. All right, you're obviously more than welcome to delete any piece that you don't want to utilize. All right, by clicking the X button, or you can click the Add Step option at the top right, and you can actually add inside any type of step you want to, whether it's email, activity, or direct mail. All right, so completely up to you in this case as to what you add inside and how you add it. All right, now if you're content with how everything looks, it's no problem. All right, you can always scroll down to the bottom of step 2, and you can click on the Save and Continue option on here. All right, if you click Save and Continue, then you'll be all good to go. All right. So once we click on Save and Continue, now we've automatically updated everything that we may have saved over inside our second step. Now step 3 on here is where we can actually go through and edit all the contacts that'll automatically be added over to our campaigns. All right, now if you recall in the beginning of our second part when we were talking about the contacts, I said, hey, double check on the groups, double check on the statuses, because that's going to help out tremendously on here. All right, so in this case, as you can see, we can actually add inside different groups. All right, so that way if you add this group over, then all eligible contacts inside that group would automatically be added over to this campaign. All right, obviously in this case, they'd be eligible since it's an email campaign if they have a legitimate email. All right, or of course, you can also click on the Contacts option. All right, and up here you can actually search by the contact names. All right, or of course, you can search by their name or email, and you can click them one at a time, or you can actually search by the status on here, all right, and search for different statuses that you'd like to add over immediately. All right. So in this case, you can actually make it a little bit easier to add contacts over to your campaigns very, very quickly. All right, just to give you a heads up. So I just want to let you know about that. All right. So instead of having to go through and manually click, the add option for all these different contacts and whatnot, all right, I could just search by the status. Say I want to add in all of the leads. I will hear 35, then I could actually just click Add All Contacts. It'll add them to the right, and then we're all good to go. And that's all you have to do in order to actually update this. All right, but I'm going to save that real quick. Now, whenever you've gone through and you've updated your campaign, you've updated your contacts, all you have to do is click on Step 4 for Review and Activate. All right, and the only thing you really have to worry about is just clicking on I have reviewed this campaign's recipients, and I agree that all email recipients have opted in to receive email from me and are not from a harvested or purchased list. All right, so once we check that, if you notice, then this pops up on here and says Activate Campaign. All right. And of course, at the very top, once it says once a contact completes this campaign, automatically add them to. We can add them to an active campaign or a pause campaign. All right, completely up to you in this case. All right. And all you have to do is just click Activate Campaign. You can save it as well if you want to. You can click Cancel also. All right, or you can just delete this altogether. So I'm just going to click Delete on here. All right. And that'll automatically take you back over to your campaign so you can view that immediately on here. All right, so just to give you a heads up. All right. So the final thing I want to show you guys real quick in our 3-part class, and for those of you guys that have stuck around for all 3 parts, thank you. All right, I know it's a long class to go through, so I appreciate it. All right, but the final thing is under the marketing section, and it's going to be Manage Designs. So we'll click on Manage Designs on here real quick. All right, so Manage Designs. All right. So once I click on Manage Design, this is automatically going to display all the designs that we are currently utilizing or that we've done previously. All right, so here's 7 different pieces that they've actually created on here. All right, and of course, if I click on Design Library over here on the left-hand side, all right, then I can actually view all the different templates that are available. All right. Now, of course, you can go up and down to actually view whichever one you're looking for. They do have a new option on here where you can actually view trending pieces as well, so that's always nice, so you can see which ones are the more popular pieces. All right, you can also search from A to Z or Z to A, depending on what you're looking for. Now, you can also search by the keyword, too. All right, so if you're looking for the keyword option on here, that's no problem at all. All right, so that way you can actually see what it is you might be looking for. All right, if you're just looking for listing pieces, you can actually click on Listing Enabled Only over here. All right, once you click on Listing Enabled Only, all right, it'll just show pieces that are purely for listings. All right, so that's always an option to take a look at too. All right, and then even further below here, all right, we also happen to have email and video, postcard, flyer, greeting card, and then guide under the type section. All right, so completely up to you as to which one you might want to utilize on here. All right, now if you are looking for listing and buyer presentations, please uncheck all the options with the exception of guide. I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right, uncheck all the options with the exception of guide on here. All right, because once you uncheck everything with the exception of guide, all right, then that'll automatically display all of them for you to use. All right, or of course you can also search by the collections on here too, all right, and that'll help out tremendously. All right, depending on what you might be looking for. Now, if you see on here where it says Email HTML Optimized, that means it's going to be an email piece and it's going to be completely free to use. I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right, so all email pieces are completely free to use. You can either email them out, remember 5,000 emails a month, all right, or you can even right-click and save it as an image to post it out on different channels like your website, like social media sites, all right, wherever you want to post it. Now, let me see if I can scroll down and find one real quick. Don't think it's going to pop up. It's probably going to be all email stuff on here. That's okay. All right, so with that being said, let me change this real quick from title A to Z. It'll pop up, I'm sure. All right, so on here, for instance, if you see one that says postcard, obviously that's going to be some type of postcard mail out. All right, so in this case, you can either order printing, all right, or you can also go through and you can make the postcard, but then you can also go through and download it as a PDF to print off yourself too. All right, so completely up to you in this case. All right, so I'm going to go back over to what people can probably see, and I'm going to choose this Did You Know Foil Common Painting Mess-Ups. I probably need to do that because there's some paint that's coming off in one of our rooms over here that I probably need to repaint. So I'm going to click on this just to get an idea as to how we can actually update some of these pieces. So when you click on any of the pieces, it's just going to give you a little bit of a preview as to what this will look like. All right, so with that being said on here, this is what the piece will actually look like. And obviously here's our little template text at the bottom, template info, that'll then populate with our information we added in the account, My Account section. Remember, account, My Account is where you can actually view all the information that'll populate down here. All right, so in this case, we can either compose the email if we just want to compose it with how our info is going to pop up, or we can personalize. And I want to personalize because I want to show you some different tips and tricks of how to update this. All right. So once I click on personalize real quick, all right. So as you can see, this is what the back end of our piece is actually going to look like. All right. So with that being said on here, if I scroll down a little bit further, all right, then I can actually see here's the did you know. There's obviously looks like a paint can being poured out. I don't know if that's the ideal way to pour out a paint can, but that's okay. All right, then of course foil comment painting mess ups. So obviously you can come through, you can actually delete any of this information. You can add inside your own info if you want to. Completely up to you in this case. All right, completely up to you. All right. All right. Now, if I want to, I can also come through. If I click on like this image, for instance, all right, once I click on that, then I can actually upload an image over here if I'd like to. All right, so I can actually change this out. All right. Or, of course, I can also click on the stock image option. I can actually add inside different stock images on here, too. All right, so completely up to you in this case. All right, so completely up to you is how you'd like to do it. All right. Now, of course, you can also click on this, and as you can see in the corners, we have different options where you can drag this down, make it bigger or smaller. Or you can even change the alignment on here too. All right, so completely up to you as to how you want this to look. And there is an undo button as well in case you undo and you didn't mean to. All right, so completely up to you. All right. Now, if we scroll down a little bit further on here, then obviously we have all of our text. Now, once again, you can delete anything on here. If you want to delete it, you can start typing whatever you want to. All right. And of course, if you don't want to, there's also other options outside of typing that you can just come up here and you can add inside different items too. All right, so you can actually insert images, very similar to how we saw the paint can earlier. You can just add inside another image by clicking the image option up here. All right, so that way you can upload an image, or you can view stock images as well. All right, completely up to you as to which one you want to utilize. Now, once again, there are other editable items up here too if you want to change the font, basically, it says font family, but basically the font. If you want to change the font size, if you want to bold, italicize, underline, change the text color, the background color, you can number it, you can bullet it. All right, there's a bunch of different options that are available for you on here. All right, now if you don't want to add inside an image, that's perfectly fine. All right, there's also the option to add inside a video. Now, about adding inside the video, all you have to do is put inside a video URL from YouTube or Vimeo. All right, so ironically enough, this is the first time I actually have my volume on my laptop. All right, but you can actually go to youtube.com. That's how you spell YouTube. There we go. I'll go /Keller Williams. All right, and whenever you find the video that you want to add inside, maybe it's a video that you made for yourself. All right, so maybe I'm going to do this month at Keller Williams, March 2018. Here we go. All right, so if we do this month at Keller Williams, March 2018, I really want to listen to that next. That'd be great. All right, then once we do that, all right, all we have to do is just copy this URL up here at the very top. All right, and once we copy it, then we can come directly back over, all right, to our backend where we're editing our marketing piece. So I copied the URL. Got to go back over here. I'm going to paste this inside. So I did Control-C and Control-V because I'm on a PC. Obviously, Command-C, Command-V, I believe, does the exact same thing on a Mac. Or, of course, you can always right-click, copy, right-click, paste. I prefer the shortcuts. I want to get everything done as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. There you go. All right, but once I click the Submit option, then that'll automatically add this in, and then, of course, I can drag this out if I want to. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can do whatever I want to. Alright, so I'm going to make that center aligned. Alright, and then of course once they click on this, it won't be an HTML video in here, but it'll be an image that'll then take them over to, obviously, YouTube, where they can view this immediately. Alright, and of course if you want to get rid of that, you just click on it, click the delete button, or click the backspace option, whatever you prefer. And then the final option we have up here that you can add inside are articles. All right, so you can also add inside pre-written articles. All right. So once we click on that, then as you can see, we have the article library on here. Alright, so you can actually pull up birthday greetings, Christmas greetings, financial mortgage, health and wellness, holiday greetings, home and garden, real estate, targeting realtors, thank you greetings. So if I use real estate, for instance, then it'll give us different size options on here of small, medium, large, or full, alright, based on how much content we want added in. So if I choose medium, for instance, then I can see all different articles that are written that are a medium size kind of length. Alright, so in this case, maybe I want to put something inside about, how to increase your home's value. Alright, maybe that might have something to do with paint. Alright, so if I add that in, as you can see on here, it still looks like there's a good amount of text. Alright, so in this case, you may actually want to go through and kind of change a little bit of this out. Alright, just because at the end of the day, might not want to look too much, too much text on here that obviously isn't very good for emails. You want to make sure you make it as minimal text as possible on here. People want to see images, they want to see videos. Alright, but if it is the text on here, if you notice, this text is actually 7-point font. Alright, so whenever you are actually working with this, alright, it automatically comes up as 7-point font. I can't highlight everything to save my life, so I'm just going to highlight this. Alright, I at least suggest making it 10-point, if not 12-point font, just because 12-point font's going to make it a lot simpler to actually view everything. Alright, if you notice, it kind of pops up a little bit more. Alright, but this is actually what it's going to look like just with a medium-sized article. So you can imagine what a large or a full-size article is going to look like. Alright, they're going to be quite massive. Now, of course, you can delete anything on here. You can do whatever you want to, completely up to you. Alright, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. Now, obviously, your information at the very bottom will automatically populate too. Alright, so we have her name that populates up here, her designations. This is obviously her company that we saw over in the office info section. The 2 phone numbers, her headshot. Here's that generic KW logo I was telling you about, and her logo she had added inside. Alright, since she obviously has a little bit bigger up here of designations and everything, let me see if I can change that. There we go. Move that back so that way it'll pop up a little bit higher. Then we can see how they can download the mobile app, and that'll link up with her app. Here's the marketing reply to email. Alright, here's the website as well. Alright, so once this is done, if you're pretty satisfied with it, just click the save option up here at the top left. You can save it as whatever you want to. So I'll save it as Did You Know, Foil Common Painting Mess-Ups. Alright, so your design is being saved. It looks like everything's saved properly. And the cool part is once we actually save that, we can click the exit option. Alright, it'll take us over to what our piece is going to look like now. So obviously we add inside a couple different things on here. I was just playing around with it, so obviously that's why it looks like that. But once this is done, then you can edit it again if you need to edit this further. You can compose an email if you want to send this piece out. And the cool thing about this is it won't be in a link, it won't be an attachment, it'll automatically display in the body of the email. Alright, you can also publish this to the web and share it. Alright, so on here you can actually copy this URL if you want to share this out on social media sites. It'll give you 5 different social media sites you can share with immediately. Alright, or of course you can always come up here, you can rename this, or you can delete it altogether. So I'm going to delete this so it doesn't stay back here for her. But remember, all these pieces can be found under the Save Design section by clicking on Marketing and going to Manage Designs. Alright, now one final thing to show you guys. Remember, to access the marketing backend, all you need to do is click the plus sign of myMarketing and go to Create Marketing Materials or Manage and Create Campaigns. Alright, those are the two ways to access all of your marketing pieces. Alright, so there you go. So that is your myKW Academy Part 3 overview of your marketing pieces.